could go very quickly, folks, so don't go anywhere, as they are presented to you by our friends over at Ultimate Guard and Carnox Chairs. They've got your back, and so do we, as we're getting ready to watch game number 1 here, my friends. Fronsee will be on the play, and we will watch these games unfold. A lot of mana acceleration, Big Nick those turns, but no 1-drop. Now, Fronsee is on 6 cards, but he's going to be behind the ball now. Now, if he's got a Walking Ballista, he can take care of that elf. He's got a Burning Tremissary and a Llanowar Elf. That's okay.
Yep.
That's okay. He's still keeping up on the mana front. And that's a really big deal, I think.
And a good infrastructure set up for Nykthos as well, should he draw that.
We'll see Salvatore. He's going to use a Walking Ballista to take care of that Elvish Mystic. So that's gone. We go back over to Adam. He's got a Castle Garenbrig. This is a Voracious Hydra. That's going to take care of that. So that's why you see some of these fight creatures. Todd Anderson has done so much work in this archetype, and he has felt that Walking Ballista and Voracious Hydra, that they are great mana sinks with Nykthos and great ways to interact. And you see both of those cards coming up here.
And you see both players already use some of their high leverage bombs, not as late game haymakers, but instead trying to suppress opposing mana. I think that really sets the stage for how these games are going to go. Both players are going to spend a lot of their early cards and most powerful cards trying to pin the other player on mana. If you do that, it's very easy to pull ahead with almost anything.
4 green, first Nykthos of the match. Jade Light Ranger, green mana floating. Top card is Scavenging Ooze. I think we can do better than that.
Come on, Adam, dream big. Dream big.
With the cards that you can draw in this matchup, and I'm talking about Nissa and Vivian.
Stop negotiating against yourself.
Yeah, I think we can do better than the Scavenging Ooze, my friend. I would be putting that into the graveyard personally.
Don't come to the bargaining table with your compromised position.
Yes.
Ask for everything.
It looks like he's going to keep the Ooze. I can't wait to see what the next card is past that Ooze. I think he can do a little bit better than that, but he's electing to keep Scavenging Ooze, which is a powerful card, no question, and there are 3 creatures in the graveyards. Let's see where Dan is going to go next. He does have Vivian in hand. Looks like he's a little unsure on what he wants to deploy as he swings these cards back and forth. He also has a copy of Voracious Hydra in hand that he could deploy and fight a little something, or just make it a big, knowing your opponent is going to be drawing a Scavenging Ooze. This is a Voracious Hydra. That is going to be fighting something. I mean, by Burning Tremissary.
I prefer big, because you're putting puts another creature in the graveyard for the Ooze, and this Voracious Hydra is going to be dominated by the Scavenging Ooze as well.
Yeah. It'll be 4 green maybe here for Fronsee. Let's make it more than that. That's a lot of green mana. There's a Scavenging Ooze. And eat all the creatures. Okay, fair enough. You want to talk about big? Scavenging Ooze is the biggest big that's ever big to big right now. 6/6 creature, largest one on the battlefield. Does Jade Light Ranger feel like getting frisky? I don't think so.
Yep.
Let's take a look at Castle Garenbrig. I'm not sure it can it do that. It makes 6 green mana. Can we take a look at the castle?
I think it's for creatures or activated abilities of creatures.
I want to make sure, yeah. That's what the discussion is here between the 2 players. And activated abilities of creatures. Yeah, you called it.
Look who knows a text box.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. That's why we pay you the big bucks. There's a castle for Dan. Both players of Castle Garenbrig. A new one, but a very good one from Throne of Eldraine. Next up is Vivian, Arcbow Ranger from Core Set 2020.
But this still puts Salvatore in a problematic position as it pertains to the Scavenging Ooze. Can't make the Voracious Hydra large enough to defend, and any sort of fighting is another creature in the graveyard.
Starts on 4. What's the follow-up going to be? And it looks like Dan has a Scavenging Ooze of his own, but his is a little late to the party.
And he's tapped out now. Fronsee is going to have first serve here, and any trades that occur in combat, anything that chump blocks, Adam gets to initiate the Scavenging Ooze here.
Well, that assumes any good attacks being made. Now, there are some very good draws here for Adam in this spot. Looking at you, Walking Ballista, or another copy of Voracious Hydra. And heck, even Vivian would be a good one, too. But I'm not sold that Adam has good attacks. For example, if he sends in with the Scavenging Ooze,
easy double block.
Easy double block.
Easy double block. And if you send in more than that, you can chump block the ooze and eat something, or you could even just double eat and let the Scavenging Ooze through and lose your Vivian. A lot of good potential blocks here for Salvatore, depending on what's left in his hand.
And Dan's already checking out his sideboard to see what maybe he can go grab with Vivian.
Dreaming big. I like it. Dream big.
2 Reclamation Sages, Thrashing. Whoa. Whoa. Did I not expect that?
Well, I mean, if Salvatore goes eat, you lose the Vivian and get to eat 2 more things with the Scavenging Ooze. Or it's not that bad.
Okay.
Now, it looks really bad in the event that Salvatore's last card in hand is another copy of Vivian, because that's just an easy couple blocks there for Salvatore.
Yeah. Getting back to what's hiding out in Dan's sideboard, you can, of course, see that on Cardboard Live via that extension on Twitch here. But for those of you who cannot bring it up at the moment, Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger is a good one in the sideboard. Questing Beast, Nylea's Disciple, Vivian Reed cannot be grabbed, pardon me. But there are some good ones if Vivian ever does show up again. It looks like if Vivian wasn't in the hand to start the turn, it's in the hand now.
I mean, Salvatore's block to me last turn suggested that he had another copy of Vivian in hand.
I think we might be going towards Nissa. Okay, this is bad news for Fronsee.
Oh, because the mana, and then you carry the 1.
Oh, you're starting to get it.
Bo-bo, bo-bo-bo-bo.
That's the 1-2 punch. It's a 2-0 Planeswalker advantage. Patrick's singing a little ditty, and with good reason. Nissa and Vivian are real tough to beat on their own, and when they're together, it doesn't get any easier, folks. Voracious Hydra just got larger.
And Salvatore can attack or not attack. Both options extremely good.
I'm going to attack there for 5. Well, we're going to see just how good Scavenging Ooze is here in a minute. For Fronsee, there are big draws in this spot that can save him. Vivian is a great place to start. Forest is not, I don't think. Really depends on what that last card is in hand. And if he hasn't played it yet, it may have just been a backup copy of Nykthos.
No, I think you drew something live, because his turn's very simple if you didn't. You just attack a Planeswalker and get the Ooze.
Yeah, you get to attack a Planeswalker and the Ooze chump blocks, right? That's straightforward enough.
If he's thinking, I think it means he drew a good one.
Decisions here for Fronsee. He has not moved an inch.
Well, I mean, maybe it could have been Voracious Hydra, right? That's pretty complicated because you kill the Ooze and then you get to choose which Planeswalker you want to get rid of.
5. Actually, that's okay. There is the Hydra.
It's a live one.
Okay. Kill that. Eat that now. Gain some life. And which Planeswalker are we killing?
I would get rid of the Vivian.
I would get rid of the Nissa.
Okay.
So we differ.
Okay. The problem that I have with leaving Vivian here is, as good as this has gotten, Salvatore can now just turtle up behind Vivian and grow things and make that pretty unassailable. All the Nissa does in terms of defending itself is making your lands into 3/3s. If he wants to turn his force into chump blockers, that seems less powerful to me than the Nissa just growing the battlefield.
Well, the reason I would get rid of Nissa potentially. We'll see. Hold on a second. Let's see what the play is going to be first. This may have been a ballista. Oh, well. Okay. Look at us go back and forth. Maybe Vivian looks better now.
Yeah, I mean, Salvatore's position is completely unassailable now.
Yeah. This seems like a really tough game for Fronsee to win now.
Where Nissa making 3/3s is just not
It's not the end of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
It's bad for you, but it's not really getting Salvatore very far.
7-8 Voracious Hydra staring at each other. Well, Fronsee drew his own copy of Nissa now.
We'll wait to the party. I mean, I guess the ooze can go up to 10-10 next turn, and that's still the biggest thing on the battlefield, even if you Vivian your largest Hydra.
Yeah, the problem with all of this, though, for Fronsee is that if he never gets to the Vivian, that means the Ulamog is waiting in the wings to take over the game.
Yep.
And while he doesn't have the mana to cast the Ulamog just yet, all it takes is one Nykthos for Dan to be able to do that, and he'll draw one of those eventually. Ulamog is kind of your breaker in these spots.
I mean, he's only... I guess he's a little bit further away than that, but still, it's coming. It's coming.
He's got work to do.
It's coming, though.
There's Nissa. Untap a forest, 3-3. If you've played any Throne of Eldraine Standard, you've seen plenty of this card.
But this is what was my concern with leaving the Vivian behind before. It's just Fronsee can't get to it, and it's also impossible for him to defend his own planeswalkers in the face of that card because the counters and the fighting just give too much agency over the ways that Fronsee could block and defend it.
Yeah, Fronsee's going to analyze this battlefield, but it's pretty straightforward. There are no good attacks to be had. From what I can tell, if Scavenging Ooze were to attack Vivian, we're in double block territory for Dan. So if you want to throw a Hail Mary shot here and hope that he doesn't see the double block, you can. But if he does, chances of you losing are very high. I suppose one could argue if you attack with the Forest and the Voracious Hydra at the Vivian, maybe Dan would make a mistake, but I think Dan would just say the Forest comes through, double block your Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Oh boy. Oh wow! Oh wow!
No, he must have declared a double block.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It looked a little weird there for a second.
It did look a little weird.
There's no way he just single blocked there, but yeah.
All right.
We're good.
Back to Dan. It did look a little strange there for a moment, but we're good.
So counter on Forest, counter on Hydra, and truck on into Nissa.
Appears to be a pretty safe bet. There you see Vivian Arcbow Ranger. What a magic card this one is. It is difficult to cast for some decks, but not all of them. For example, these decks that are mono green don't have much difficulty casting it at all. Here they come. There goes Nissa. The follow-up. Burning Tree Emissary. Not so great right now. But we head back over to Fronsee, who's got nothing going on. He'll just pass the turn back over to Dan. Dan draws a Forest, but Dan's got a commanding lead right now. And he can continue to press his advantage. He's counting the mana
That's
to
just
see.
lethal if you just fight the blocker down.
6.
Oh, sorry, Fronsee's way higher. Yeah. But you can just put 2 counters on the Burning Tree Emissary. That's a good attack. I don't mind getting rid of some mana just for safety's sake.
I mean, this is pretty.
It's all good.
I would say it's straightforward enough, insofar as Dan can just attack with every creature and be fine. And I don't really think there's anything to worry about.
I mean,
I would have gotten in there with that elf.
Nissa off the top, maybe. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Salvatore's position way too commanding.
Dan Salvatore going to win game number 1 here over Adam Fronsee. Mono Green Devotion Mirror. Starts with the player on the right who was able to break serve, which is pretty gosh darn important in these games. But do remember that games 1 and 2 are without sideboards, folks. So these players not even going to go to the drawing board. We will not even show you the drawing board. What we will show you is how you can buy basic lands from us on the cheap. on the cheap.
Let's talk about it.
You talk about it. I'm not talking about it.
We talk about it, meaning myself and the listeners.
Got it.
Go.starcitygames.com/sale. Every week, new sale, new categories, limited time remaining, about 24 hours, a little bit less. Basic lands, foil, non-foil, promo, old school, new school, middle school, you name it, all available for a limited time remaining at go.starcitygames.com/sale.
Good job, you and the listeners. I hope you both enjoyed that.
Hope so too.
Yeah, that's what I say. Mono Green Devotion. I second that devotion. Looking good right now. It was a deck we knew was going to be very popular coming in. Were people going to be prepared to beat it? Well, they certainly tried. Other side of the bracket doesn't have it. But that just means we're going to have a Mono Green Devotion deck here in the finals no matter what. And we'll see if it's able to hoist the trophy here this weekend. Do keep in mind our next match on the other side of the bracket. Chris Barone, he's playing Mono Black Aggro against Sam Birkenbile playing Gruul Aggro. Those Ember Cleaves and those Ethersphere Harvesters, folks. Brian Gottlieb, Craig Krempels, they'll be bringing you that one. We do, of course, want to let you know what everyone's playing for here this weekend as well. Lotta Monet on the line here at the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia. These players have locked up a significant chunk of change, $5,000 for our semifinalists on 35 SCG points and invitational qualifications. Finalists, we get $10,000. Winner, a cool $20K. Plenty of SCG points to go around. And our winner, of course, we headed to the Players' Championship. That'll be taking place in Roanoke, Virginia in a couple of weeks. Free entry into SCG Opens, along with a couple of buys as well. Free entry at select events like Star City Games Classics, and that personalized token. I got to imagine it's going to be a food token for somebody, unless somebody's got something else in mind. Go to starcitygames.com/invitationals for more information.
Come hang out. These are fun.
I'm having fun.
It's fun.
You can go to local Carrabba's like we do every night.
Every night. They know us by name.
Get yourself the Westbrook. It's a delicious item. Trust me.
Branding master Cedric Phillips came up with the name for the Westbrook, as I mentioned, the triple-double.
That's right.
What is the triple-double, you may ask? 2 pork chops, 2 glasses of wine,
and
2 loaves of bread.
The triple-double. The Westbrook.
The Westbrook.
Had it last night for dinner.
Would do it again.
Would do it again. We'll be doing it later tonight.
Yeah.
Table for one at the bar. It's a good start for Fronsee. What are you laughing at? The Westbrook is a delight.
It's awesome. 2 loaves of bread. And you can distribute all these items in whatever order you want to.
Oh, yeah.
There's no wrong order.
Start with the pork chops.
Open up on 2 glasses of wine.
Yes.
Whichever. There's a lot of ways to play it.
It's all lovely.
Points, rebounds, assists, we don't care what order they come in.
Don't worry about the turnovers.
Don't worry about the turnovers.
Here come the beatdowns. Burning Tree Emissaries will trade Fronsee with no real payoff right now, or a Nykthos. Though you can see in his hand he does have a copy of Nissa, so if he's able to find a mana source, away we go. It's a once upon a time here for Dan. Take a look at the top 5 cards. He'll take one of them with him. He will select a basic forest. Good choice on the black border, not the white border, Dan. I approve. The rest of those cards go to the bottom of the deck at random. There's a forest. This is a Elvish Mystic. We're heading back to Fronsee. He needs a land. He didn't find one. He's going to try to find one with the Jade Light Ranger. Top card, once upon a time. Let's it go. Pretty easy decision. Vivian's a little bit harder because that's a really good card, as we saw in that first game.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something about the mana because the battlefield's really hard to manage if Fronsee can play Vivian with some blockers.
Looks like he's happy enough keeping it on the top shelf. That'll be his draw next turn, which means he's not drawing a land. Beatdowns. Jade Ranger and Voracious Hydra, they will not be trading. Fronsee's draw step now is a total brick. This was the biggest concern as Dan is really starting to pull ahead now. Next up, another Jade Light. This side on Salvatore's side. Top card, Nykthos. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Next one, Vivian. Leave it on top.
Yeah, we'll leave that one on top.
Oh, yeah.
And now Fronsee, if he doesn't have mana this turn, he's not getting it next turn, because I think order of operation number 1 for that Vivian read is fight the Elvish Mystic.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Fronsee with a Nykthos off the top. Okay. Well,
his hand is loaded.
That was, one could argue, best possible. That's going to give him access to 5 green. Now, how can he make the most of this mana? We do 5 through Nykthos.
Nissa gives you a rebate of 2.
But what if we go...
Oh, tap the Llanowar Elf,
yes,
to get to 5.
And into the castle.
So if you tap Elvish Mystic, Castle, Nykthos, that's 5 mana, you play Nissa, you get 4 mana off your forest, and then you can play Vivian.
Yeah, I want to be able to play both cards in this turn, and I know there's a way to.
I mean, I think that's it, right? You have 5 mana off Nykthos, you play Nissa, now you have 4 mana from the tap plus untap, and then you play Vivian.
Yeah. I think Adam may have missed that there. I think he could have gotten both Planeswalkers on the battlefield.
Yeah, you just have a Nissa on the battlefield. It's the same way. I mean, you're down your Llanowar Elf as a blocker.
Whatever.
Right. Especially because if you lose the Llanowar Elf in combat, or if you lose enough pips, it's possible you don't even have much to show for your Nykthos the following turn.
Let's go back over to Dan. Dan the man. Draw a card. He's got a Nykthos. Looks like he's ready to activate it. It's a great draw step there for Fronsee. He needed a way to generate a lot of mana. He found the best card in his deck. Well, Vivian of his own. There's a land for the turn. Both players have the powerful 4-mana Planeswalker. Voracious Hydra, bigger. Bigger!
Yeah, nothing to do here in terms of trying to fight down the Elvish Mystic. As Fronsee with that Nykthos and all those pips, he's going to have a boatload of mana. So the best thing that you can do is try to make some uncomfortable blocks.
Baby. Oh, let's see. If we double block... Nykthos is still providing +1 mana, so we can still deploy Nissa next turn. I'm about that double block life.
Yeah, me too.
Let me get your biggest creature off the battlefield. I'll have active. Yeah. I love it. Love it. That also means that he gets to keep one of these? Because Hydra's a 2/3 and Jade Ranger's bigger than that. Jade Ranger is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get to keep one of these.
I would have rather hang back on defense.
Oh,
if you're not going to get to the Vivian, trading your creature and a Vivian activation for a creature is very inefficient. And these battles are going to come down to a lot of just who has the biggest thing.
Now it's Nykthos time. 3, 4, 5, 6 green for Adam. Show me potato salad. Bonk. It's a Nissa. Down to 1 green. Elevator going up. Forest is untapping, I think. Nothing else really to do with this mana right now. I don't think there's a reason to deploy that other Nissa that he has in his hand. So that Forest is now at 3/3. Let's get after that Vivian there. Plus.
I mean, 4/4 is the magic number on the Forest. That makes it so it requires a double block or a chump.
Let's remember, no chumping here. These have trample from the Vivian counters. So that Forest is a 4/4. That Jade Ranger is a 4/5.
Still can't trade off. Still can't trade off with 1 card.
Yep. So I think if you're Dan, you probably just have to let these through. Because if you double block and try to kill some stuff, you're probably going to lose your Vivian anyway. and then your Nykthos is going to be bad.
And this is the issue that I have coming back to haunt Salvatore a little bit with that attack with the Voracious Hydra last turn. It looks a lot different if you got a 5/6 on defense right now. You at least get something for your trouble.
Yep. But the game is significantly different.
It's possible Fronsee has to just not attack at all. The threat of losing your forest. I mean, we're all done here.
Yeah,
Salvatore can't even recoup with a Planeswalker from here.
No. No, I mean, that's a far. I mean, this game's over.
Love it.
Yeah. Let's light him up. Light him up. I'm on fire!
Elvish Mystic's like, well, no one's here to stop me.
Yeah. Give you a little.
I'm gonna get my hit in.
I mean, I'm gonna give you a little taste. Couple misses in hand.
Who's gonna stop me? All my friends are dead.
That's right.
I'm gonna get my point in.
Right. You and your friends are dead.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and. If you don't mind me, I'm going to go ahead and land a jab on Vivian.
Yep.
On my way out the door.
Adam's going to do some math. It's over, Rock. I think he's going to be deploying multiple Nisses here to just really just turn up the band. What are we searching for? Are we going to go get Ulamog?
Sure, whatever.
Adam? Yeah. Have a ball.
All right, just get Annihilus Disciple.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Bow.
1-1. Mono Green Devotion Mirror all tied up. So there's no way you've seen the Transformers movies.
I have not.
Absolutely not. Do you know Transformers at all?
Broad strokes.
You know, like that Transformer that they like team up. It's like the crane and everything. It's like all the construction vehicles. They turn into like one giant monster.
I vaguely know.
Yeah, that's Ulamog.
Yeah.
When it comes down, because like this gigantic in the second Transformers, all these construction vehicles, they team up and they start attacking like a pyramid and just start like sucking the whole pyramid into its mouth, like all the bricks and everything. And that's Ulamog. It just sweeps away all your permanents.
I like imagining a game of Magic sometimes as a role-playing game where the Elvish Mystic lands a jab on Vivian, and Vivian's response is to go get Ulamog and Ulamog.
Sure.
Oh, okay. You want to play that? You want to play it that way?
Yeah, it's like when you run into a random enemy and use your summon spell in Final Fantasy VII, like Bahamut, and it's like, dude, it's a plant. Like, what are you doing? It has 200 HP.
Letting him know.
Yeah, I just wanted to kill it. Anyway,
I wanted to let him
enough
know.
Video game references. Got to keep my nerd cred up. Dan Salvatore will be on the play game 3. 3 Nihilus Disciples, 2 Reclamation Sage, 2 Shapers Sanctuary, 2 Heroic Intervention, 2 Lifecrafters Bestiary. A Questing Beast to Vivian Reed, a Thrashing Brontodon, and Old Ulamog. What are we thinking here, pal?
I don't know. I mean, Lifecrafters Bestiary, I suppose. Battlefield's largely, unassailable. The games do kind of drag out in their own way. Could be talked into that. Rest of the sideboard, not super interested in. I suppose Reclamation Sage if you expect Lifecrafters Bestiary on the other side. Low enough opportunity cost.
Other side of things here, 3 Shapers Sanctuary, 3 Nihilus Disciple, 2 Reclamation Sage, 2 Lifecrafters Bestiary, 2 Unravel the Aether, an Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger, a Whisperwood Elemental, and a Questing Beast.
I kind of like bringing in the Whisperwood Elemental. It seems like you would never tutor for that with your Vivian, because if the game drags off that long, you could just go get Ulamog. But one random Whisperwood Elemental to draw sounds kind of appealing to me. And I could be talking into the Lifecrafters Bestiary as well, same way.
There are the options there for both players. We want to talk about the Season 1 schedule for 2020. That's what we want to do. We want to show you where we're going to be playing some Magic. And Patrick, I think this is a great time to stop working on your Dwayne Haskins stacks.
They're already set.
And get to work.
I was digging through my mentions.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Anywho. Columbus and Knoxville to start off the year strong, and then February, bunch of opens. Actually, a pretty stacked first season here, I would say, with Richmond, Philadelphia, and Indianapolis. That open in Indianapolis, February 22 and 23, that will be Pioneer. March 7th, the regional championships. You can head over to go.starcitygames.com/regionals as we get closer to that event for more information. That will be modern. March will also have Baltimore, Pioneer, and then the rest of the season, not yet announced yet. We'll see with Syracuse, Atlanta, Worcester, and Cincinnati. Louisville to round out May. Philadelphia actually to round out May. And then SCGCon Summer, featuring the Star City Games Invitational, June 11th through the 14th, back here in Roanoke, Virginia.
Any idea when we're rounding out May? Can you clear that up for me?
Philadelphia.
Philly? Okay.
May 31st to the
There
32nd.
There we go. I'm just looking for confirmation on when May will be rounded out.
Yeah.
As you so elegantly put it.
That's all done.
Okay. Okie dokie. Game number 3 about to be underway. Good to see that all of our Pioneer games are absolutely fantastic. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Mono Green Devotion still super good. Not busted like it was before, but still super good. That's okay with me. Other side of things, again, Brian Gottlieb, Kirk Krempels, let me bring you our match between Chris Barone playing Mono Black Aggro, our number 1 overall seed, has been all weekend long, and Sam Birkenbile playing Gruul Aggro, Ember Cleave, Questing Beast, Wild Slash, Powerful. Adam, we'll take a look at his opening 7. Dan will be doing the same. Dan will be on the play here for game number 3. Don't forget as well, at the conclusion of this, we'll take a little short break, get ready to cover our Cube Draft Final. I'll tell you one player who's qualified for that. Zach Hill.
Chatter of the Squirrel himself.
Pro Tour Top 8 competitor.
Magic designer.
That's right.
Former denizen of the Star City Games forums. Former writer for Star City Games.
That's right.
Cube aficionado.
You better believe it. Loves himself in Cube. Came here this weekend solely to play in Cube qualifiers to qualify for the final Cube, and he got there. He did it. He didn't come here to do anything else.
No.
No interest in playing the Invitational.
Cube.
What do you think about a CubeCon? Huh? Command Fest? No.
I mean, the Cube tournaments have been hopping all weekend long. Packed. I got to watch our colleague in the booth, Ryan Overturf.
The Turf.
Play serrated arrows against a white weenie opponent who had to pick it up and read it, and I walked away.
Yeah, that person lost.
I don't want to see the look on this person's face when they pick their head up after seeing the only powerful card from Homelands come down and ruin their day. That's not true. Is
it not true?
Merchant Scroll?
That's a good card, actually, yeah. That thing ever been banned, Merchant Scroll? It's got to be banned, no?
I don't think so.
No, not that good?
I mean, it's sort of... The issue is the other offenders.
Sure. They ain't gonna London Mulligan. Send a card to the bottom. It's a forest. It's no 1-mana accelerant. Does Fronsee have one of his own? He's got a Once Upon a Time. That's a good place to start. If he didn't have one before, he might have one now. Let's take a look at these 5 cards along with Adam, shall we?
My Magic playing friends, stop me if you've heard this one before, have started referring to Once Upon a Time as the loading screen.
I like that.
Waiting for match to begin.
I like that.
waiting. There we go.
Castle Garenbrig. See, he gets it. Dan, Ballista, Burning Emissary. Okay, he's got Nick, though, so that's good.
Yeah.
Forest.
4 pairings for round 3 are now posted.
Burning Emissary. Once Upon a Time. All right, not the most explosive start here for Fronsee.
Once again, modern qualifier players. 4 pairings for round 3 are now up.
Nick, those would be really nice here to start jumping ahead.
Birch and Scrolls restricted in Vintage. Confirmed. All right. Could be a big turn coming here for Fronsee. Could also be a big turn here for Dan the Man. Let's see how he does on his draw. We got to nick those in hand.
Need to pin some mana. Need to get rid of those pips off the battlefield.
Questy B. Beatdowns.
Can't block.
Well, can.
Are you sure? I thought Questing Beast made everything with power 2 or less, just unable
Let's
to.
take a look at Questing Beast. I'm pretty sure that's not true.
Go to the tape.
Could be wrong. Been wrong before, be wrong again. It's got a lot of text.
Yeah. I had to double check every time that I play against the cards. So just to make sure I can lava coil this, right? All right, I'm going to lava coil it.
That's dead. Questing Beast
Can't be blocked. Okay.
Yes, that's what I was pretty sure it was. Well, that's a good card. I love myself a Walking Ballista.
Not the worst to leave the J-Light Ranger as a 4/3 also.
Trade with Questy B.
And block off the Burning Trees for a turn. Burn proof is pretty high to pass through it here because I think having the J-Light Ranger as a 4/3 is pretty valuable in this spot.
J-Light Ranger, pretty nice addition to this deck. I like this way more than Courser before it.
Yeah. It's rough because with J-Light Ranger decks, you'd ideally like to have decks that both want a lot of mana and a deck that's interested in a 4/3 for 3. This deck is not really the latter, but it's still so much power, and the mana symbols help out a lot too.
Looks like he put Ballista in the graveyard, yeah?
But he kept it as a 4/3.
Okay. Well, he does have another Ballista in hand, but I would want as many Ballistas as I can get.
Well, I mean, I would have wanted to draw a Ballista, I think, but
Where you like blocking here? Emissary?
Burning Tree Emissary. This attack means that we've talked about this before a couple times. The mono green Devotion decks, busted cards are disproportionately pre-combat cards. Planeswalker with it gives something haste, Planeswalker that pumps something. So if your opponent is going into combat and attacking you, they probably don't have any of their busted cards in their hand.
Yep.
So just play like there's nothing good there. And I think in that world you want to just take care of the Burning Tree Emissary.
Because they're not going to play a Planeswalker like Nissa or Vivian post-combat.
Right, that doesn't
No
make any
reason to do
sense.
that.
Or a Questing Beast.
Yep.
I mean, there's already one on the battlefield, but you know.
Yeah.
Just all their best stuff is pre-combat. So when a Salvatore makes an attack like that without playing something before he attacks, odds are extremely high that he's got nothing of impact in hand, and that's the way you should play it. And now you can play a big Ballista, start pinning down some of Salvatore's pips, mana symbols on the battlefield, and that'll cut off a lot of the best top decks as well.
Castle. Ballista. 4.
And I just want to take care of the J-Light Ranger and the Burning Tree Emissary right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
I agree with that. And then you can just have your J-Light Ranger trade with the old Questing Beast, and life's pretty good.
You basically have to, if you're able to successfully fade Vivian this turn, you should be on cruise control going forward.
Yep. Voracious Hydra is a good draw.
Yep.
There are some cards that can mess this up, and Voracious Hydra actually is one of them.
And that might have been the draw step.
It was. You play a Hydra as a 3/4, and you fight J-Light Ranger. You lose your Hydra in the exchange, but then your Questy B gets to do some attacking.
Right. And then maybe you're drawing to Vivian the next turn.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Only chance to win, and I don't think big gets you anywhere.
No, not with the amount of mana that Fronsee has available to him. You make it 6/7, you trade off the J-Light Ranger. That's not getting you very far, I don't think.
It's also important here as well to reduce the pips.
Right.
Yeah, so I like this exchange. Questing Beast puts you to 2. Try to steal this one if you're Dan. You got a lot of lands in your hand, but you can peel on your opponent here.
I really wish Salvatore had played a land there, though.
Yeah, I like
with
playing.
hand.
Yep.
You're not bluffing anything,
Nope.
and Once Upon a Time is in your deck. You want to make sure that you can Once Upon a Time into any. Give yourself the best shot of being able to cast your big cards.
Or as an example, well, he can play a land next turn and still do Once Upon a Time into Walking Ballista for 2 and kill you. I also like that turn too because it makes Walking Ballista a way to win the game.
yeah,
I think that's very important right now.
It's another out.
Fronsee has Nissa in hand. His Nykthos is net neutral right now.
Really weird to see this become a damage race tempo style games as the first 2 games were just all about planeswalkers and position on the battlefield.
These games can take a different tenor quite a bit. Untap that land. Trying to figure out what land to untap. I just want to tap a forest.
No, it's just this is a little bit. I mean,
What's the problem?
you're down to only Nykthos as an eligible blocker next turn.
As opposed to?
Putting mana into Ballista or something else. Maybe there's no way to avoid it, but Fronsee's position is actually a little bit precarious here. Just straight up on the battlefield, to say nothing of any of Salvatore's draw steps.
I'm curious if Fronsee's attacking with his Nykthos and his Burning Tree Shaman. Or Burning Tree Emissary, which he should be, by the way, because he has the ability to give...
Right.
he can give Ballista a counter.
Yeah.
He can give Ballista a counter at a moment's notice. So if Dan blocks it all, he loses his Questing Beast. That's important. Adam would like to get some damage in while also attempting to have Dan make a mistake. If Dan does block the Nykthos, you get to activate Nykthos with the Forest, which taps for 2 green. You tap the Nykthos, and you make 5 mana, pump the Ballista, and kill it. And all that jazz. So, let's see. What are we doing now post-combat? If you activate Nykthos, you get 5 mana. And he has another copy of Nissa in hand, does Adam Fronsee. So it looks like he wants to deploy another Nykthos here. Oh, it's a Ballista for... Ooh. No, that's too... Nope. I count 5. Am I wrong?
1, 2, 3, 4. So they're backing it up here.
Yeah. This is awkward. Well, it's a good time for a head judge to get into it. I think Fronsee thought he was doing this for 6. He's only got 5 pips. 2 from Nissa, 1 from the Elf, 2 from the Burning Tree Emissary. All right, so he's going to play the spell for 1.
A lot of draws.
Yeah, I don't think Elvish Mystic was one of them. If Adam gets out of this turn alive, he almost certainly wins the game because of the active Ballistas in combination with Nissa. So he just needs to get out of this turn alive.
Yeah. I mean, if Salvatore...
Block.
I'll block.
It's a sharp block.
Good. I like that. Like that block. Okay. Count Blockula.
That's a new one even for you. All right, finish it off. All right, Adam, we are turning the corner officially now.
Win the game this turn. Try to cut off Ballista.
Now, the game isn't over for the reason that you mentioned. Ballista is still a way for Adam to lose. So he needs to deal as much damage as he possibly can this turn. Probably kill that stupid elf. Get in as much damage as you can. Don't lose to a haste creature. Don't lose to a Ballista.
Right, so you got to be worried about Nissa, and you have to be worried about Bliss. That's a lost cause. Nothing to be done about that.
Can't do anything about that. Got to worry about the things you can control. Bunch of mana. $12 green. Bliss is going to get some counters. Untappy. Yeah, I think I would have killed that elf pre-combat.
Yeah, I mean, there's
you just have to get you have to shorten the length of the game.
Right. If this converts into another turn, it could be a disaster.
No, I don't think it's going to. Yeah, it's fortunately for Adam, it's not going to. But you gotta get these games over with as fast as possible.
Right. And he never gets the option to ever block with the elf if you don't let him, so he's going to jump there 100% of the time.
Either way, Adam Fronsee is going to take the lead here in this match, 2-1 over Dan Salvatore. Mono Green Devotion Mirror, player on the left in the lead. We're going to hear from our friends over Ultimate Guard in just a moment, but do keep in mind, when we do come back from that short break, Dan will be on the play. Game number 4 will be coming to you in about 90 seconds. See you soon. Let's do it to it. Game number 4 on the way. Dan Salvatore versus Adam Fronsee. Fronsee up 2-1 in our Mono Green Devotion Mirror here in Pioneer. Salvatore will be on the play for game number 4. These players about to take a look at their opening hands right now. Thanks for joining us. Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan. We are here in the booth. We'll have Brian Gottlieb and Craig Krempels headed your way momentarily as these players take a look at their opening hands. And I don't think Dan's got a good one, so he's going to send that back. No mana acceleration or once upon a time.
Looked like 3 lands, bestiary, 3 planeswalkers.
Yeah, planeswalker strategy, huh?
You want those, but not too many of those.
That's right.
Complicated games, though. A lot of nuance on the battlefield. Combat math, big part of it. How you manage your mana, all of it. Matchup, I think, gets critiqued sometimes a little unfairly as mindless or not that skill intensive, but there's a lot going on, a lot to consider.
Looks like it might be a better hand for Dan there. At the very least, I saw a copy of Once Upon a Time. And you gotta like that. Dan not sure which card he wants to put on the bottom, but he's found one. All right, here we go. It's a Once Upon a Time. Nykthos among those cards. Don't think there's a one-mana accelerant there, though.
That hand is not, I mean, I don't mind keeping, you know, 6-card hands, whatever. That looks like one kept on spec, hoping that Once Upon a Time could tie it together. And
doesn't look like it did. Is there a one-mana accelerant?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, never mind.
Great hand.
That's a good hand, then. We both have Once Upon a Time. Powerful.
Loading.
The loading screen.
Waiting for game to get underway. Loading. There we go.
Yep. You may begin.
How much would you have to dislike your opponent to ask to cut after Once Upon a Time?
Do it every time.
Every time.
What kind of question is that?
Do you want to randomize it?
Hydra.
I want you to shuffle it one more time and then.
Hail Hydra. Back to Adam. Jade Light.
Bang.
Bennett. Tank? All right. Let's think about it.
Do you want a random draw step or do you want a different random draw step?
He wants Once Upon a Time. So be it. Over to Dan the Man. He's got a forest.
But can't play a Planeswalker.
Well, he can.
Well, not profitably. It's illegal. Sorry. It's illegal game action.
I don't really like your use of the word can't. Here comes
Won't.
Questing Beast. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Once Upon a Time. Top 5 picks to click. Walking Bliss is a pretty good Magic card.
Yeah, it pairs well with Nykthos because it's powerful when you have a lot of mana.
Still got it. Third day in the coverage.
I'm on fire. They said I was washed up.
Like LeBron.
Could be more wrong.
Washed king.
Yeah. Like LeBron and every one of you out there is Bielitsa. Yeah. Standing still while I come across the lane.
We'll go back over to Dan. I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah.
Vivian time, huh?
A handful of you reply guys. You're like the Lakers bench.
Yep. Just
dancing around.
Just along for the ride.
Couldn't be happier.
Yep. Arcbow Ranger in the house. Fighting Jade Light Ranger. Questing Beast will come across here. 4/4. Fronsee down to 12. Fronsee will draw. Lost some pips in case his plan was Nykthos. Now he does have Walking Bliss in his hand, so he can kill Vivian if he'd like.
With some despair, with some change left over.
Now, if I were Adam, I would attack Nykthos with my Voracious Hydra.
You would attack Nykthos?
Or excuse, not Nykthos, Vivian.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because he's got Ballista in the holster and can make it a 3/3 given the castle and finish off the Questy Bee.
Do you think that's better use of your equity than just play a Ballista, shoot the Vivian, leave it, and take another hit from the Questing Beast?
Yeah. Yeah. A little tired of this Questing Beast.
That's a different conversation.
A little tired of this Questing Beast, okay? It's got to go. I don't think my opponent's got much going on, personally. Could be wrong. Also want to take a couple pips away. I guess better way to take the pips away is just killing the Vivian, though.
I think going from 12 to 8 is pretty safe with Salvatore not having enough mana to threaten a lethal ballista out of nowhere. So I'd rather just use the mana efficiently, take your lumps from the questing beast for one more turn, get rid of the Vivian, and then untap with a massive board.
All right, well, ballista there for 3. 6 total mana. Love it!
Oh my.
Love it!
Get it. Oh, you want to get it all? That's different.
Yeah!
Yeah, getting it all is different. If you get both permanents for your trouble, that's okay.
Are we blocking?
Yeah, I mean, if the leftovers in your hand is a Vivian, you have to keep the questing beast, or you just have nothing going on the next turn.
Yeah, so I wouldn't block is what I'm
Right,
saying.
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, you got to take that shot.
Yeah. All right, back to Dan. Burning Tree Emissary. Pips aplenty, 4 of them. Plus mana on your Nykthos now, that's 4.
I mean, if you play a Hydra and fight the Ballista,
Hail Hydra.
there is a chance that Fronsee just can't stop the questing beast.
It's true.
You can't block it right now. He would need something out of hand to be able to do that.
Remember that conversation about wanting to kill questing beast? Were you here for that? I was here for that.
I thought you were talking about attacking with exactly one creature.
Kind of wanted to do that too. Just whatever.
Attacking with 2 is very different.
Just
that
whatever,
play I do like.
Whatever it takes to get this questing beast out of here is what I want to do. It's causing some issues. This game and the last one have been centered around that knucklehead. Yeah, causing some real problems. And one of them in the sideboard keeps showing up and giving crazy beatdowns.
It's given a very different shape to these post-board games. So I don't know what Fronsee is tanking about. You cannot kill the 3/4 with 3 counters. You can't add damage to the questing beast with the hope of making combat prohibitive because you can't block. So that leaves exactly that.
Kill the Burning Tree Emissary, deal your opponent appointed damage, take 4 to the grill. Down to 8, back to Fronsee. It's got 4 pips, which means Nykthos is plus mana at the moment. Boom.
Ding, 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 ding. I think we're going to game 5.
I think you might be right about that. If that's the only play this turn. What up? Done.
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 Game 5.
As it's meant to be. Lots of game 5s here today in Pioneer. Might go on a limb here and say the best competitive format in Magic right now. May I? May I? I may. I may.
If you're waiting to your seats again, 12 and other challenge players, your parents their next round have come up.
Good match here between these two. Other semifinal coming soon. Don't forget about that. Brian Gottlieb, Craig Krempels, they're coming to the booth. They'll be bringing you number 1 overall seed Chris Brown playing mono black aggro against Sam Birkenbile, number 5 overall seed playing Gruul aggro. That'll be coming up for you soon here. Don't forget about that. But in the meantime, let's talk about the StarCityGames.com YouTube page, where you can watch replays of this event. You can watch Versus Live with Corey Baumeister and Ross Merriam. And if you were watching this week, we also had surprise appearances from Brad Nelson and Ryan Overturf. Commander Versus with Jeremy Knoll, Justin Parnell, the originator of the Cube here at SCGCon Winter. Jonathan Suarez and the American Dream, Stephen Green. Flashback series with myself, Brad Nelson, Todd Anderson, and many others. These awesome Best of SCG Tour moments and a whole bunch more. Subscribe today at youtube.com/StarCityGames. Become one of right around 175,000 subscribers.
When are you and I going to cut a Versus Live?
Never.
Why?
You're never in Roanoke.
That's not true.
And neither am I.
I land fairly early on Thursday, both for this show and the Players' Championship. We could cut one for sure.
Is that what the people want to see? Huh? Is that what the people want?
It would be white hot.
I'll need some feedback from the folks at home if that's what they want.
Yeah. You and I talking trash for hours?
Well, it'd be more than hours for me. I can't stop.
Right.
I'd try to, but I'd fail. Who do you think would win?
Kind of depends on the matchup.
Nah, not really.
Okay.
Thanks, Rob. The viewers would win. Thanks. Rob's getting a little too comfortable in that seat down there, I think.
I know.
In the headset a lot this week.
Been in the headset a lot.
Tweeting
I know.
mid-match.
I know.
Little too comfortable.
I know.
Okay. Maybe a little post-game chit-chat. That's all I'm saying. We'll see.
The headset, Rob, it is sacred. You do not just pump noise into it.
That's true.
This match has now gone over for 1 hour.
We're going strong in the devotion. You thought it was going to be quick? No.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I could see why you
I did think it was going to be 5 games.
Okay, Patrick. Patrick, okay. Wrong. Good sportsmanship, once again. Winner of this, finals. Up to 10K in winnings.
Lock up 5 figures.
Yes, sir.
1 match away from the Players' Championship.
Yes, sir. Dan's got a man at Brontodon. Yeah, the big dino's coming, huh? Didn't expect that one.
No.
Guess it kills Ballista. Sort of.
I mean, sure.
Sort of. I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
How about that? Top 5, once upon a time. Oop, but let's check that hand, and ding. Elvish Mystic to the hand. It's a forest. It's a 1-drop. Let's go over to Dan, who's got a 1-drop of his own and a Life Crafter's Bestiary. Alrighty, what can Fronsee do now? Does he have a way to kill that elf? Ballista or Voracious Hydra would be nice. 2 mana. Ballista, in for 1. Don't you dare miss that point of damage.
No.
Back over to Dan. Nykthos the draw. Forest. Ooze. No ooze. Elvish Mystic for him. Back over to Adam. I see a Voracious Hydra.
Ballista for 2 would be very good in this spot as well.
I like that as well.
There we go.
Hydra. Yep, take that. More pips, too.
Good board for thrashing a Brontodon. 3-4.
Not wrong.
Biggest in weight class. You're going to want to slide that Bestiary back to the back of the hand, I think.
Yeah.
You're going to want to wait a minute on that one. Salvatore's hand looks quite bad. 4th land,
yeah.
just a Nykthos. No pips on the battlefield.
Got to get something started. I think the best way to get started is with Bronte. There it is.
Bang.
Dino Rhino. Back over to Adam. Picked up a copy of Nykthos. Net neutral right now. 3 pips on the battlefield, 3 to activate the Nykthos.
Fronsee can really pull ahead with any Planeswalker.
Scavenging Ooze.
But that's not it. And he's got the mana to play anything. So that suggests that Fronsee is out of gas.
Let's go to Dan. Big draw step here. He could use a land. He drew a Ballista. They got to be fine to playing Life Crafters this turn. That Ooze is going to be a bit of an issue. Can turn into a 5/5 right now.
But you get a little bit of breathing space. I mean, Fronsee is only attacking with the Ooze. You can be fairly confident that the last card in his hand is not much to do with anything. And as long as you fade some big draw steps, now there are a lot of them, if you draw a forest, you can really start stringing together some things, either by playing one of your Planeswalkers or by just churning through some extra cards with the Bestiary and some of your cheaper stuff.
We're going back Adam's way. He has a Once Upon a Time. Well, this could find the payoff card that he's missing. Can't find a Planeswalker, of course. Vivian and this would be great in this spot. And he just went by a couple of them. Now, Voracious Hydra is still a totally reasonable find. So he will take the Hydra. The rest of these cards will go on the bottom of his deck at random. Now, if you're Adam, I want to just kill. If I can kill the Bronson, I will.
Yeah.
And you know what? My opponent didn't play a land. Their turn was Lifecrafter's Bestiary. I'm going to try to kill you now.
Just push it on through.
I'm just gonna try to kill you. Let's go.
Let's go wide. Got the biggest stuff on the battlefield. Hard to catch up for 4 mana. The Planeswalkers are no good.
I play one way anyway. You know me.
Yeah.
Let's try to get the opponent dead. No more tomfoolery. No more ballyhoo. Let's get this game over with. What are you gonna do? Draw a card with a Bestiary? I don't think so. Walking Ballista, a little small. Draw a card though. The problem is Dan is just so far behind. The best he can do is that.
He can chump block an ooze and shoot an elf and take it 8.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard to catch up that way. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Ding, 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 ding,
That's
ding.
game! That's game! That's game! That's game! Adam Fronsee gonna win this match over Dan Salvatore. 3-2. Mono Green Devotion will take care of Mono Green Devotion for the player on the left from Northeast Ohio.